So what do we do now?
Okay, wait.
Antonio's our
we
host.
are started. We're probably about a couple of minutes on that. And does anybody have anything they want to say before we get started?
No.
No.
Okay, now we can get started. So today is December 27th. Grandma, we only have a couple more days. And you requested that we have
This evening
This
together,
one.
and I wanted Renee to join us so we could have the three of us would have a nice conversation between the three of us.
Renee.
Thank you.
I told Renee beforehand that she had to come with questions for you.
I did not prepare.
I was gonna say, I said that 2 weeks ago before the holiday shuffle. So I guess we're just gonna see what happens.
I have no questions prepared.
We're gonna see what happens.
So we're just going to chat.
Yeah,
I'm not the host. You are.
I know. We just have to keep in mind that we don't go over 30 minutes.
So you're saying you're going to be asking the questions for us?
No, she was supposed to, but I didn't have.
So
He didn't
properly
remind me.
prepare her.
Okay.
I
So,
forgot.
Grandma, we have two more. I guess let's start with, how did you?
That's being recorded.
It is being recorded, and I'm not gonna cut it
That's
out.
going to have to be deleted.
I told him at the end of the month he needs to make a little bloopers reel of you just saying that needs to be deleted.
I'm sure there's a lot.
Okay. Well,
But I
what
was
was
gonna
your
say-
first question? Your question?
I guess my first question is what did you think of this whole thing? Well, I guess I should have saved
I
that
think
for
it's something
next
new
week.
to me, and it's interesting. Is I really don't know what I'm doing, and I just found out about maybe 15 minutes ago that you told my son that somebody else's son had seen this, what we'd be doing, you and I, and that it
Oh.
was very interesting.
Who?
I guess whoever watched it on the TV or whatever,
Probably Colin. Shout out Colin.
My cousin Colin.
and that he really liked it.
Oh yeah. Shout out Colin. Colin watches everything that I do that I put out.
Yes.
Always love Colin.
Yes.
But
But it was very. I mean, what we've done is something that's new to me, and I told Andrew. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. He just asked me if I would do it, and I said yes.
and
he
see,
said, "You never know."
you are the perfect kind of person to who I want to do these things with. Somebody who doesn't ask questions just says yes.
Go with the flow.
Because I feel like that's the best way to do
Yeah.
this kind of stuff.
Well,
Because
honestly, the reason when you said that to me is because I'm grandma, and I thought maybe there was something you want to know about my family or my past or my life or whatever.
And I do,
You're
and
the
then-
only one that really has some kind of interest on asking some kind of questions. But we have talked a lot about you too. You and
Yeah.
I, and I have learned some.
yeah,
bit about
and that's why I think it's funny because that was my intention when I started this. I was like, I'm gonna get a whole family tree. We're gonna get
history.
everything, and it just falls apart. But it's fun. I don't. In the end, the way I look at all of these, whether it's with you, whether it's with my cousins or with my uncles or friends or her, I think it'll be something fun to look back on in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 20 years, because I have videos that I made with my friends in college or like podcasts that we did in like garages and campus marshes, cars, everywhere. Like I've done all of this kind of stuff with all of my friends everywhere, and it's so fun for me to go back and watch it. And
I thought it was interesting to include Renee, so we could have a little bit to know about her too. Not that I really,
not that I
I'm
really care.
interested and no, not that. I don't want to dig in your past or anything, but I get to know you a little bit, and we could be included in a conversation, not just him and I.
All right, looks like
And
Grandma's
I'm
going to be
very
asking the
glad
questions today.
that you joined us.
Me too.
And that we, but You have to say something too, other than him and I.
Well, he just talks over me. And you know what? Actually, you know what he told me? He told me, Renee, if you're going to do the podcast with me and Grandma, you can't talk more than Grandma does.
Oh no, I want you to talk.
He told me I couldn't talk more than you. So I've been thinking, I'm like, oh my God, Antonio's talking so much. You're
I know,
talking
I really try.
for all three of us.
I really try not to talk
Sorry.
when I'm.
You're not very good at it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm really bad. So, Grandma, you ask Renee a question. I'm gonna lose this because I'm very hot. So I'm gonna keep it running, and it'll be okay.
So you want me to talk to Renee and what?
I mean, you
I don't
said
necessarily have to ask questions. Right?
you don't have to
Like,
ask questions. It could
I
be
can-
whatever. But you said, Renee,
I-
I'm glad you're a part of the conversation, so I could learn something about you.
Yes, no,
Yes.
I have to say to you that I'm very glad to have met you, and I had found out things that I didn't even, like, for example, I didn't know that you knew my grandson since high school or before high school or whatever, So it's interesting to me to know that part of you, that it's not something that somebody that you met 6 months ago, you know each other, you know what's going. I don't like I think I told Antonio before. I don't know what's going to happen down the road. Where you guys are going to be together or you're going to break up. Who knows what the future brings. But at this point, I'm glad to have met you, really, and I'm glad I like your ways, and I hope our relationship stays that way. I don't know how long I'm going to be around, but
I love being here with you.
so let's tell me something about what you would like to say. Not necessarily. I'm not going to be digging into your past. Just tell me what you would like to know, or if you want to ask me questions about me, that's fine too.
Yeah. Well, I will say that picture that Antonio showed Andrew yesterday of us in high school in the blue dress. Did he show you that picture?
Yeah, I showed you the one that I pulled out of my wallet.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the first day I met you. We came here. That, do you remember that or no?
2014.
It was over 7
Was
years
it
ago
a
now.
prom or what was it?
It was a
Yeah, it
homecoming
was a
dance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Well, I remember now.
Yeah.
But,
That was
really?
me.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
And it's funny. She just showed me a picture from a different homecoming in her purse. She's like, "Who is this?" And it was my friend. It was Tristan.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And she's like, "I didn't think it was Renee, but I didn't know who it was." And
I
was
kind of
like,
thought it was you.
Uh-huh.
I kind of, but I had forgotten about you.
Yeah.
Being here before. But honestly, I had forgotten.
No. It was just funny
It was
when
such a long time ago.
when you said that. It just reminded me. But the one question I did think of is I love hearing about people's hobbies. And you said earlier today that you used to really like singing.
I do.
And I wanted to hear more about that. So I don't have a question. I just wanted to hear more about it.
I'm not a singer, but I love to sing, and ever since I was very young, but my language is Spanish mainly. Like I said, I spoke Spanish all my life until I came here to Michigan, and that's why I have an accent, a heavy accent, but I didn't speak English until I got here, and I was 15 years old. But my singing was in Spanish, and I used to memorize all the. There's some songs in English that I know or that I used to sing, but I'm the oldest one of my mom's family. I'm the oldest of the daughters, but I would sit outside in Texas because I'm originally from Texas, and I would sit outside on the porch with a friend of mine, and we would just sing away. Really. My mom would sometimes say, "Watch what you're singing," because we didn't even know the kinds of words in the songs, But I really enjoy singing more than anything else. Some people are good dancers, and some people are good storytellers. My thing was singing, and even now with Alexa, I sing with her sometimes. Her and I. But that is my hobby. Now that at my age, I'm doing more like crocheting or stuff like that grandmas do.
You've got to have the grandma hobbies.
We got the.
But yeah, I'm sitting
Like
on some
I
yarn.
think I told Antonio on previous conversations that I used to party a lot with the girls, with my never boyfriends, but a bunch of girls would get together, and I'm not lying to you. We used to crash parties in Detroit. They didn't invite us, but we would go up
But you
there.
showed up?
But you were there.
We crashed those parties, and there were so many people they didn't even know that we weren't invited, you know. But
Kinda
I
just
never,
snuck in.
we never did anything that I can say I'm ashamed of, because it was just a fun time, you know. Get together. We didn't drink, we didn't smoke, we just party. We just go and
You guys were just out there dancing and singing.
I used to have friends. In fact, my brother-in-law just passed away. His sister was one of the best dancers, and I used to love to watch her dance. I would dance too, but that's one of the friends that would go out and we would go dancing and at the party. And then the next day, there was a friend of mine that was older than us. And she would be our driver because we were 17,
Yeah.
18, you know.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
yeah.
gonna say. I mean, I remember her telling me this, but you didn't tell her, so I'm not.
Yes, I'm going to
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
her that I used to. She would take her to the party, brings her home, deliver everybody, and she would say, "Tomorrow we get up. You guys get up, and I'll meet you at say Elizabeth Park, and we're gonna have breakfast over there." And by the time we got to the park, she would have breakfast ready for us, you know. But and my mom didn't mind as long as we were a bunch of us together. But my parents were, I guess you can say, strict. I could not bring boyfriends home. I could not have a boyfriend at all, you know. We, honestly, we had to sneak out. I had to meet my boyfriends at the corner where my dad didn't know, my mom didn't know. Yeah, I had to because at that time they didn't allow us, you know.
Okay,
my
we
dad.
all snuck out to the corner.
Yeah.
To meet up with our boyfriends.
Oh,
and girlfriends.
you've snuck out before?
I snuck out to meet up with you. I don't know.
I've never snuck out before.
Yeah, I always snuck in. I always snuck.
You
in
probably have a
business.
different upbringing with your parents because I can tell that you have a good relationship with your mom.
Yeah.
See, I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I was the oldest one, and you know.
I used to sneak him in, though.
You what?
I'd wait till my parents go to bed.
I would sneak in.
Oh,
and
you
I,
sneak
and
in.
I'd say, okay, the garage door is open, and you gotta come really quiet.
So
and we'd hang out in my basement. We'd hear something. I'd be like, if they
Oh,
come down
that's-
here, you have to hide.
I was hiding in basements and I was sneaking out of places.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
And I was good. Never got caught.
You said you never got caught.
Never got caught.
Like Tomas. Tomas.
oh,
No,
Tomas
not-
gets caught.
Not like
Tomas
Tomas.
was in so much trouble because his mom used to tell me, "Oh, you know, Tomas can snuck out at 2:00 in the morning." I said,
I always told him, you know,
"You don't know
you
how
just
to
gotta
do."
be better. You just gotta be better at it.
And now look at us. No sneaking out. We live together.
Yeah.
And now we sneak out of parties to go home.
And we're like, okay, we gotta
Right. Yeah.
do an Irish goodbye.
Yeah, I hate doing Irish goodbyes. But about you singing in Mexico, do you remember any of the? I'm not.
Not
gonna
in
ask-
Mexico,
I'm
in
not-
Texas.
In Texas, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did we ever tell you about when we went to Texas? Grandma, have you ever been to Texas?
Yes, I have.
Have
I
you
was
ever been to
born in
Florida?
Have
Texas.
you ever been to
No,
Florida?
I said, I've never been in Florida. Grandma, you've been in Florida twice.
Grandma,
Oh, I have?
we took you to Florida 4 times. That was the best. Did we ever tell you about when we went to Texas?
You've told me about it.
Oh my gosh, it was the hottest. We went in the middle of July and we went on a riverboat tour. Do you remember, Grandma? You remember
No,
how
I
hot it
don't.
was?
No.
Oh, you don't remember?
No. Well, Texas is hot anyway, always, 100
so-
degrees,
so
yeah.
what
But I don't
happened-
remember that trip, you know.
So the whole ride there, you're like, I can't wait to get to Texas. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to
Did
see
you guys
Texas.
drive or did you
Oh,
fly?
yeah, we drove. It was
Ooh.
horrible.
We always
It
drove.
was horrible.
Yeah,
And we
How old were you?
we always drove.
I don't know. I was older, probably 14, 15.
I can't remember
14,
that, you
15,
know.
16. So the whole ride, I'm so excited. I can't wait for you guys to see San Antonio. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so much fun. We get there. It's middle of July. Hot as
Did you go for your
hell.
birthday?
It's like 100.
Is that what we went with your mom? Just your mom was driving and us,
no,
your
no.
dad didn't go with us?
No, we went all of us. It was the 6 of us. And you.
Oh, that's right. Your dad, that's when you guys went to see Adela? Was that the
Yeah,
time?
when we dropped you off those couple of days.
Yes.
And then we went and saw
Now
her.
I remember. Yeah.
So we went.
Was it for your birthday?
No,
Mid-July?
it wasn't
No,
for
it
her
was
birthday.
just
we
a
went
trip.
because she wanted to go see
I wanted
a
to go see
friend.
my cousin.
Yeah,
my
your
cousin.
cousin. So the whole ride, can't wait. So excited. It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be a good time. We get there, and before we dropped her off with her cousin, we went on a riverboat tour. And
I don't remember
you
that.
don't remember?
I don't
we went on
remember
the
the tour.
riverboat tour.
And this is San Antonio.
San Antonio, Austin. I think it was San Antonio.
It might have been.
So
It might have been.
we're on the river, and it was the hottest it's ever been. Like dripping like down your nose.
It's Texas is terrible.
And
I don't do well in the heat.
And so I looked at you, Grandma. I said, Grandma, I hate Texas. And you looked at me and you go, I can't wait to go back to Michigan. And that's the one thing that I remember from Texas. But other than that,
Yeah.
I mean,
I do remember a little bit about it because I remember you guys dropping me
I remember
in
when we
San and it might have been San Antonio because that's where my cousin lives.
yeah, and I remember when
he
we picked
lived.
you up and you're like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready
Yeah.
to go.
So I have another question then. So why did your family move from Texas to Michigan?
Jobs.
Jobs.
Yeah.
The odd-
And I'm going to
You
be
said-
honest. I'm
so
going to
you
be
were
honest
15?
with you. I was 15.
What
But
year
Texas,
would that have been?
pardon me?
When would that be? Like
It was in the 50s.
in the 50s.
In fact, it was 1950 when my brother Oscar was born.
Okay.
And at that time, my brother was born in February, and one of my aunts, died in March, which was my mom's oldest sister. And all the Martinez, and that's my mom's last name, maiden name, had gone to the funeral, to my aunt's funeral. And I'm going to be honest with you, Texas was, I don't know, Shelley, is very prejudiced. They discriminated Mexicans a lot, you know. So my dad had a job where he would do the same job as a white man, and he would be paid a lot less, you know. So when the Martinez went over there, they encouraged my dad
Michigan,
to
you're
come to Michigan because they were hiring at Great Lakes, and they were paying much better. So here we are, 10 of us, and we came. I don't know if I told Antonio, we came in a truck like at the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh,
And
like
they would, in the
flatbed?
back of they had these big trucks, and we didn't have the money, okay, so to be bringing us in a plane or anything. So my dad came first with one of my with my sister and one of my little brothers, which they didn't speak English at all, but he had to come and find the job first, you know. So a few months, I might have been in maybe July or August, where he hired this young man with a big, what do they call those big,
Like a U-Haul?
like
Or
not even
not a U-Haul. No, that'd
it
be
was
like
like
a
a
box
truck.
truck.
It was a big.
Like
have
a
you ever seen
flatbed.
a flatbed
Like a
truck?
flatbed,
yeah,
yeah.
a flatbed truck. And
The Beverly
they
Hillbillies.
stack up furniture, and we were riding with the furniture,
Oh.
and just like I said, just like the Beverly
Beverly
Hillbillies, yeah,
Hillbillies,
yeah. And we lost. My brother Robert was young, and we lost him in Kentucky or somewhere where we.
Really?
Yeah, they stopped for a rest area, and then they forgot about him, so we just
I mean, 10,
realized
10
that.
kids. I'm surprised.
Yeah,
only
they
one kid.
realized
You'd have
that
to be
one
doing
of
like
them.
a head count every
yeah,
stop.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
we
did.
got-
Yeah. So anyway, but it was a fun, and interesting. I shouldn't say fun, but that's the reason I came because I cried because I didn't want to leave Texas because I had all my friends in that
That was
age.
your
yeah.
home.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
15, it's not
And-
like you're a little kid.
Yeah, well, and I had just met a young man that I like, and I thought he was gonna be my boyfriend, but I had to leave him behind. So I hated to come to Michigan, and you wouldn't take me back to Texas, not a way at all. But then I came here, and we lived in Delray. That's where we first landed here. My dad got a job at Great Lakes, and that's where he stayed all his life until he passed away. Well, he retired. But that's the reason. It was a job. It was really, we wanted a better life. That's why I feel I have a sadness when I see all these immigrants that come and that people don't like them, and because that's what they're looking for. I'm not from Mexico, I'm from Texas, but these people that are coming from South America or I don't know, China, wherever they're coming for a better life. I mean, I don't think all of them are bad. You might have a few, but the most of them, they have little ones. I what do you call it? I connect or
You relate.
I relate
You
to
relate
them.
to 'em.
Yeah, I relate to them. We didn't suffer. Don't get me wrong, because I tell everybody that we were poor, not destituted, but we never went hungry. We were never hungry because we always lived. Since I was born, I remember living in a farm, and I and my brothers,
Is that what your
my
parents
sister,
did
Yeah,
in Texas?
what was
They
the
would-
house like
did
in
they farm?
Texas?
they were farmhouses. There was no heat, no air conditioner, nothing. And I don't know if you seen people pick cotton. That I did that. We did that. My family. We pick cotton for a living, which is the worst job anybody can.
Yeah.
And I was only about maybe 10, 11 when I was picking cotton. And but we always had some to eat and drink. There was always cows and chickens, and so we weren't. I can't say that we ever went hungry because we weren't. I've
Yeah.
never had supper, and I tell my kids, I think I've been blessed all my life because I don't come from a rich family, but I don't come from a destitute
yeah, you don't
family.
come from
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. So that's the reason we came to Michigan, and I love Michigan. I don't think I would like to live anywhere else right now. As far as
You don't want to go back to Texas?
I would never go back to Texas. I would like to love to go, and if you guys ever have a chance to go back to Texas, San Antonio is
I wanna
beautiful.
I want to go back
I've
to
never
Texas.
been.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Texas.
if you
have to take me.
Not in the middle of
If you-
July. I will
no,
never
it-
go in the summer.
no, but if you go, I don't know, September, October, and you go to the riverfront, and
That's what I
and-
want to go see. San Antonio, Austin,
yeah, San Antonio,
Dallas.
beautiful, yes.
Yeah, I want to.
And I come from Corpus Christi, and Corpus Christi is by the Gulf, not far from Houston. It's a beautiful city. I love Corpus, but I wouldn't live there.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes. You probably remember. Did you have anything like that? The mosquitoes and the flies, or anything?
in Corpus Christi.
And when we went to Texas?
I don't think we went to Corpus Christi. Or maybe
No,
we did.
but when you went to
Oh,
Texas?
yeah, no, it was awful. Where it was hot, muggy,
Muggy,
bugs.
yeah.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, even the hotel rooms we stayed in were just
Yeah.
like that was our Texas trip was so weird.
Interesting.
Because well, that was the trip I slept in a tub.
Oh my god.
Because
Some experiences.
well, there was one bed, and then there was the pull out, or there was two beds. I don't know. For some reason we got there, and everybody looked at me and they go, "You're sleeping in the tub." I was like,
I would never even think of that being a place for someone to sleep.
It was the worst night of sleep I've ever had, and that next day everybody was really nice to me. So they're like, "What do you want to do? What do you want to eat?" I was like, "I want to sleep."
Do
in
you
the car."
remember ever when you were in Texas? Do you remember eating the water burgers?
That's what I was gonna say earlier. That is the biggest thing that I remember out of Texas.
Eating the
Have you ever had Whataburger?
I have not had it, but I do know what it is.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think
because you've
it's-
never been to Texas, so I
Yeah,
think
I
the
have
water
not.
burger is a Texas
It's
burger.
a southern.
Well,
no, it's a southern.
It's
thing.
a
Oh, is
southern
it?
thing. Yeah, they have them in other states, but when I was in college, like we had everybody from all the states. Like
Yeah.
since I was out of state, and the California people would argue with the Texas people about if In-N-Out was better,
Yeah.
or if Whataburger was better, and it was such an argument. So like that was if you had a roommate who like lived in California or lived in Texas, like when you went home with them, that's what you did. So like my roommate lived in California, so when I went home with her, she would be like, the first thing we got to do, we're like bags piled high in the car from the airport, and she's like, we're going to In-N-Out right now. Like, so it's very much
Is that a restaurant in California?
it's a burger place in
so-
California, so they would argue
When you guys went to California, when you and Tony Miguel went to California, he was telling me how him and Anika
Blanca.
were.
He went out with Blanca a
Yeah,
lot.
he was telling me that him and Blanca were getting in and out like crazy. He's like, "You gotta try it, man. You gotta try it."
So
Oh.
at
Still
my
never had
school, that's always what they would argue about. The
Okay.
Californians and the Texans. They would
Yeah.
be
But
like,
they
my burger's better.
They opened that In and Out in Chicago.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, so
Oh, you'd like to
I don't
try
know if I
that.
will try it. I feel like I have to have it in California. I feel
I'll
like it's a
try it, and
California
I'll
thing.
tell you if it's as good as
Yeah,
they
you
do
try
it
it,
in
'cause I'm
California.
not
Me and
sure.
Ashton will go, and we'll tell you.
But
Sounds
do you remember the Whataburger?
I remember Whataburger.
It was so good.
Their burgers were really good, and their barbecue sauce was nice and
Yeah.
sweet, and their ketchup was good.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. I remember
And
those three things.
Texas is because there's California too, but
that
there's
was
so
all we
many
ate.
Mexicans that they gotta have their chile, your spices stuff.
Yeah.
So you have a Whataburger, and on the side they would have a big jar of jalapeno peppers.
Yeah,
Remember?
like the
Yeah.
wet. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
like it reminds me of
In-N-Out
Scooby-Doo.
puts
It's like
jalapeno peppers on a lot of things. Yeah.
It's like Scooby Doo, that one movie where they were at the in the bayou, and it's the one with the it's not the Vampire Sisters. or it might be the Vampire Sisters. Anyways, there's
I was
this-
obsessed with the Hex Girls.
I
That
think
that
it's-
was the one that I
think it's
used
that
to
movie,
rewatch.
because there's one where they were eating like hot peppers like crazy, and those it's like the pepperoncinis.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Except they're probably jalapenos. I was gonna ask if you remembered any of the songs that you used to sing in Texas.
Yeah, but that would be all in Spanish. So
I just, I'm not asking you to sing them. I don't know. You know the name. Of them.
my favorite. They're all
Favorite song?
gone. They're all gone. My favorite singer was all gone. Jorge. His name was Jorge Negrete, and they were what they call rancheras. Is you know what a mariachi is.
Yeah, but I don't know what a
Okay, yeah,
ranchera is.
that's the kind of ranchera is like the mariachi
Oh.
song, and in fact, Andrew and I were just playing rancheras,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the favorite singers is Vicente Fernandez, who just passed away
I
about
was
a month
about to
ago.
ask that
Yeah.
if you listened to him.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's one of the top singers
Yeah.
in Mexican, and one of my favorite songs era Volver, Volver, Volver.
I
It's
feel like
it's a song like I'm coming back, I'm coming back. It's a really really pretty song, ranchera, and
I feel like I've
think
heard
of
you
it.
play that song before.
That Volver, Volver.
Volver.
You probably your mom plays it a lot too, because I think your mom likes the son. I like Vicente,
And
and
she
she
likes
likes the son. I forget his name right now,
Mm.
but he sings more like different, not rancheras.
It's not classical.
no,
not
it's,
classic.
He sings like call them boleros or baladas, which is like a slow type of
like a
music. Yeah,
yeah.
And Vicente would sing the
like-
mariachi song. You can always see him on a horse. Yeah, you can always see him riding a horse, and that's
I can't do it as well, but that's the
Yeah.
that's the Mexican like
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Baby, I know.
that would be the Mexican, like the
Yeah.
the Arabic thing.
I
Now,
used, to,
may
I used to
ask?
practice it, but I could never do it.
And may
Try
I
again.
ask you, Renee? I'll give you a question. Your mom, originally and dad, are from here, from the States.
Yeah. My dad's family came to America like super early. Like one of the first people in America. Both my dad's family, both my grandpa and my grandma are from Tennessee. And their families moved here in the 50s for jobs too.
Okay.
But they were like farm people in Tennessee, and like my grandpa's side, they have like so much land in this one area of Tennessee that there's their own graveyard, and the gravestones go back to like 1750, like before
Really
they like
originals.
predate the Constitution. Yeah. And then my mom's family,
I was gonna say no, they don't, and then I was like, yeah, 1776.
Yeah,
I was
they-
like, I
The
don't know.
originals, yeah.
they came over like the colonies. Like they came over.
Yeah.
My dad's family's.
So you've
They
been-
say they're Irish. I don't know. It's
Okay.
so long though.
Yeah,
That
there's
you
a
can't
lot.
really
Yeah.
know.
Uh-huh.
But that side says that they're Irish. Like McFadden was a popular
So that's where your
name.
mom.
That's my
grew
dad's
up.
side.
Oh, that's where your dad grew up.
My
And-
mom
okay.
grew up here. My grandparents are Polish.
Yes.
So on my grandpa's side, they came over either right before he was born or right after.
Okay.
He grew up speaking Polish. My grandma's side, that's the grandma I'm really close with, my mom's mom. Her parents came over. So she was born here. But
She was first generation.
yes, so my
So your mom would be second.
my mom is second generation. I think on both sides. I want to say both my Mimi and Popsy. But yeah, both Polish.
So actually, your dad is life might have been very similar to ours, because if he came from Tennessee to Michigan, probably for a better job
yes.
or for a better way of living.
Yes.
If he was a countryman or farmer, whatever.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wanna
So they were pretty like low income, and
Yeah.
wanted to work in like the auto kind
call it.
of
They wanted to come
that
into
boom.
the industry. Yeah.
Yeah, so all four of my grandparents grew up in Detroit.
We just have to say our out one more time.
What are we
Because,
doing?
because, like I said, we can't go over 30 minutes, and I noticed at 29 that we weren't gonna get because you guys were in the middle of something, so I'm not gonna be like, hey guys, stop talking because we have to be done. So that cuts at 30 minutes because for tax.
Our audio's already there, so it just
Doesn't matter. Anyways, does anybody have anything else to say? No. Merry Christmas. Love you. Okay. Bye. Bye. Bye.